Phoebe, it's about time you start listening to me. If you don't start working, I'll be moving in with you and my son. If you don't stop lazing around and getting a job, I won't move in with you. But you can start sending me $750 a month to look after me. I'm not getting any younger, you know. If you don't promise me one way or another, I'll see to it that your wedding to my son Kevin next month gets cancelled. You hear me? Cancelled. So what's it going to be, young lady?
Ugh, are you really harping on about this again? I made this clear before, but it didn't seem to go in. So allow me to repeat myself. You have no right to cancel my wedding. As for sending you money, I've discussed the matter at length with Kevin, and he says I don't have to.
Fine, I'll move in with you both then.
No, you won't. I'm still working just like always.
Huh? I thought you'd been at home this whole time since you got engaged 3 months ago. Basically, you're using the wedding as an opportunity to become a stay-at-home housewife so you never have to work again. You lazy daughter of a garbage man. Don't think you can lie to me, young lady. Your house is a 3-minute walk from mine, so it's very easy for me to check whether you're trying to pull the wool over my eyes.
No, I explained this to you before the engagement too, but once again, it seems like it was in one ear and out the other. I'm a freelancer, which means I can work wherever I like. From home, in a cafe, in a restaurant. I've never had to go into any kind of office, so you wouldn't necessarily see me leave the house. I do sometimes to go meet up with clients from time to time, but the same still applies.
I see. So you're doing perfectly fine for money then, are you? In that case, you're to start sending me $750 a month like I asked. Forget what Kevin says. I'm your mother-in-law. And it's your job as a wife to do as I tell you. My word is final.
Forgive me, I have an online meeting starting soon.
Huh? An online meeting? What's that?
Goodbye.
How dare you ignore the requests of your mother-in-law? It's looking more and more likely that you're going to turn out to be a problem bride. You're going to have to do something about this attitude of yours if you're going to marry my son. This just won't do. Kevin, listen, son. I need to talk to you about something very important. It's about Phoebe. Are you sure she's really the woman you want to marry? You only get to do this once. Are you sure you've really thought it through?
Huh? Mom? Why are you asking me that all of a sudden? Obviously, I've thought it through. We're engaged. I love her and want to spend my life with her. Why can't you just be happy for me and accept that?
I'm just worried you might be making the wrong decision, that's all. What kind of mother would I be if I didn't worry about you, Kevin? Even if it comes to divorce, I want you to know that I'll always be here to help you. Find a more suitable wife. Never forget that, honey. Please, won't you just rethink things one last time? Do it for me? It would fill my old heart with joy if you canceled the engagement, son.
Wow. You have got to be freaking joking me. Who actually says that to their own son? No, wait. Wait a sec. You're not bullying my fiancé, are you? Have you said anything to her?
Huh?
Dad and I have warned you countless times by now, but I know how stubborn you can be. You seem convinced she's bad news despite the fact you've barely even spoken to her. Why can't you just give her a chance? In any case, you need to stop acting like this. You better not be saying any of this to her, because that's bullying, plain and simple. I'll never forgive you if I find out you have. And really, Mom, is this the kind of person you want to be?
What are you talking about? The person I wanna be? No, Kevin, you're the one who needs to know what kind of person Phoebe is. You need to stop lying to yourself and accept her true colors. If you have until next month's wedding to back out of this, so how about you try and considering yours and this family's reputation for a change and do the right thing? That girl has a black heart. I want you to start paying attention to the way she behaves, the way she spends money, and what she does on a day-to-day basis. You'll be amazed by what you notice if you stop burying your head in the sand.
I see. Sorry, Mom. I have to get back to work now. Catch you later.
2 days before the wedding.
Phoebe, are you cheating on my son? I saw you the day before yesterday. That was no way that was a regular shopping trip with you dressed in that suit.
You're right, it wasn't a shopping trip. I had an in-person meeting with a long-term client who's been giving me work since before I can remember. So, naturally, I wanted to look the part, which is why I wore my suit.
Aha, I've gotcha. You said you worked from home. Caught in a lie. So you're having an affair with your client?
No! He asked me to meet him at his company office, so business wear was the obvious choice. Which is why I went in my suit. Pajamas would have been a little rude, don't you think? Anyway, the point is that it was just a work meeting and nothing more.
But it is the truth. I wonder.
It's the truth. I have another work meeting to attend soon, so if you'll forgive me.
If you're telling the truth, you won't mind proving it, will you? Go on. I'll wait. If you can prove it, I'll believe you. And me and you can forget this ever happened. Well, would you look at that? The fact you still haven't provided me with any proof of this work meeting of yours means you must be cheating on my son. You filthy harlot! I'm having the wedding cancelled, you hear me? Cancelled. I suppose I'd better deliver Kevin the news too. Oh dear, this is gonna crush him. I hope you're proud of yourself, woman. It's a shame I have to do this right before the wedding, but at least we finally got to see your true colors. Phew! Talk about dodging a bullet. Kevin, I have proof Phoebe's cheating on you. You have to cancel the wedding this weekend. Be a darling and call it off as soon as you get this, won't you? They could charge you extra if you leave it too long. I can't believe it. Talk about cutting it close. You were days away from making the worst decision of your life. I'm just so pleased I found out, even if it was days before the wedding. I know it's gonna be hard on you canceling everything you had planned, but it's better this way. At least now you can take her to court for compensation. That should go some way to ease the burden. Ah, yes, that reminds me. What with the wedding been cancelled now? You won't have any plans this weekend, will you? I think we should go on a holiday to celebrate. How does California sound? I've always wanted to try hot springs there. I hope we're able to find somewhere to stay at such short notice. Don't worry, of course I'll book yours and your dad's spots too. How long has it been since we all went on a family holiday together? Oh, I'm so excited. It's gonna be great. Kevin, haven't you arrived at the inn I booked yet? We've had the reservation since yesterday, so I'm worried about you, honey. Why aren't you responding to my texts or answering my calls? The view from the open-air jacuzzi attached to our room is to die for. This place is incredible. I feel like a queen. Ah, there you are. You had me worried sick, young man. What time will you be getting here?
You're free to enjoy the Californian hot springs by yourself.
Huh? What?
I'm in the middle of my wedding right now.
What?
The service at the church just drew to a close, which means we're officially married. We're just about to head to the banquet.
Wait, what? Are you telling me you didn't cancel it like I told you?
Obviously not. I had no reason to do that.
But I told you about Phoebe's affair. Oh God, did you forgive her?
Affair? You mean that thing about seeing her out in town wearing a suit?
That's right. She tried to pull the wool over our eyes by playing it off as some kind of work meeting, but she was meeting up with her lover. I just know it.
I was with her at that work meeting.
What? You were?
I told you before that we originally met through me being one of her regular clients, right? I'd offer her translation work, which she, being a freelance translator, would accept. Well, my company had a fresh project for her. So it only made sense that I tag along for the meeting to ensure she was fully up to speed on, and understood, the project specifications. Surely you're not going to carry on clinging to this insane affair theory when her own husband is giving her an alibi. Can we just put this to bed already?
What the? But I was certain.
If you're so against our wedding that you go to such ridiculous lengths to try and stop it from going ahead, I'm actually glad you're not here. I have no interest in forcing you to celebrate something you don't feel you can support.
But Kevin...
The banquet's about to start now, and hot damn, the pizza looks delicious. So if you'll kindly excuse me...
Phew! Thank goodness I made it. I wasn't able to have your wedding cancelled due to the affair in the end. But when I realized there was one more reason it shouldn't go ahead, I'm so pleased I got on the first flight home to crash it. I've got you all figured out, Phoebe. The only reason you're interested in marrying my son Kevin is because you're after his huge salary, isn't it? The jig is up, young lady. I can read you like a book, so you may as well just admit it and make this easier on yourself. Thank God I made it in time to get to the banquet hall and get up on stage to grab the mic off the host and tell the whole world your true intentions. Everyone sees your true colors now. And we're all disgusted with you. Disgusted.
Listen, Wilma. What exactly gave you the idea that the only reason I'm with your son is because I'm after his money?
You told me you work from home. I made it very clear that if you were working, you had a duty to send me $750 every month to help with my living costs. The fact that you kept stubbornly refusing made it as plain as day that you were poor, even if you have a job. I only had to put 2 and 2 together to realize you had your sights on my poor son's wallet. You can't deny it now. I know everything, and there's nothing I can figure out, because I'm smart, very smart. This was my last chance to save my son's future before any hope he had at happiness was destroyed forever. I did what I had to do and exposed your true colors to the world at your wedding banquet. You hate me. But if you search deep in your heart, you'll know this is what's best for Kevin. I might have been thrown out by security, but I did what I came to do. So what happened after that? Surely the wedding got called off. When everyone heard what you're really like.
I see. You're right. I'm pleased. With this, we can finally divorce now. Thanks for giving me a concrete reason to go through with the divorce. I've been wanting to do this for a while.
Huh? Putting on a bold font, are we?
No, that's what your husband just told me to tell you. He stood right next to me.
Huh? My husband? What?
We finished the banquet as planned after you left. The food was delicious and everyone had a great time. Your little interruption actually made it more memorable in a sense. Me and Kevin have no intention of divorcing.
No, you have to be joking me. Why am I the one getting divorced here? Kevin, how could you stand by and watch while this happens to your poor mother? You're horrible. I've been telling you how awful that girl Phoebe is for what feels like forever now, but you never listened to me, not even once. Is this what I get for giving birth to you, for raising you?
Your accusations were all nonsense! Just like everything else you said about my wife.
Nonsense?
I've already explained why this supposed affair is a load of rubbish. So I'm not going to go out of my way to explain it again if you don't understand by now. But the idea that she only married me simply because she wants my money is pure fantasy. Plain and simple. It's honestly the most ridiculous thing I've heard in my whole life.
Which part is fantasy?
Phoebe makes $150,000 a year.
150K?
Basically, she brings in 4 times as much money as me.
4 times?
I won't go into too much detail, because she probably wouldn't want me revealing her private work details. But she's one of the top performers in the translation industry, and is hugely popular with a lot of very influential people. To put it simply, she's the best at what she does.
If she's that rich, why did she always refuse to send me money?
You were already in the wrong at the point you decided to beg my wife for money.
What?
I mean, seriously, who pesters their son's wife for money? Who actually does that? Have you no shame? Let's face it, the only reason you were so intent on her being the devil and so committed to destroying her reputation is because she had the guts to say no to your absurd demands.
But...
No buts! I'm cutting you out of my life once and for all!
What? No, please!
To tell you the truth, we already moved house.
You moved house? Where to? Tell me your address at once. This can't be happening. Please, son, don't do this to your poor aged old mother. I can't get by without you. Won't you reconsider? Besides, did you only just move right before the wedding? It was only a 3-minute walk from my house. The location was perfect. It's barely been half a year since you moved in. Why would you leave already?
That was just an apartment Phoebe had been renting since before we met. I was only staying there with her temporarily, until we found somewhere new to start our married life in.
Oh my goodness.
It was only down to a coincidence that she happened to have an apartment near your house in the first place. Funnily enough, it was actually where we got onto the topic of how close together our houses were after linking up for a work meeting one day that we started discussing our private lives and grew closer.
But I only started seeing her around town around the time you two got engaged.
That's probably just because you didn't know her before then. You were hardly going to recognize a stranger, were you? I bet you walked past each other dozens of times. It was the same for me, too.
Really? Could it be?
Looks like we went off topic. To get back to the point, I'm cutting you out of my life forever, Mom! I'm not going to tell you where we live. And I'll be taking every last possible measure to ensure you never find our address.
Wait, please! Your father seems ready to divorce me, Kevin. I can't bear to lose you too. Please, don't do this to your poor aged mother.
It's not that Dad seems ready to divorce you. He absolutely, beyond any shadow of a doubt, is going to divorce you. With 100% certainty. He literally could not be more committed to getting rid of you. It's not for me to get involved in that. So just make sure you do what his lawyer says.
Kevin!
If you'll excuse me, Phoebe and I are going out for a meal.
Wait, no! Please, don't leave me, son! I'm begging you!
I'm blocking you.
Apparently, my mother-in-law had always been prone to making preposterous misunderstandings. You might be wondering why her husband would marry someone like that in the first place. But Kevin said she'd always made lighthearted, self-deprecating remarks about her crazy side, which probably caused him to drop his guard. To everyone's surprise, she actually admitted fault after the divorce had been finalized. I'm sorry I've caused you so many problems. So with that, Wilma was officially a divorcee. She'd been a stay-at-home housewife until then, which meant things got a heck of a lot tougher for her after being abandoned by her husband and son. Now she had to support herself. She burned through the alimony money she got in the divorce in a heartbeat, and before long was staying with her little brother and his wife as their live-in parasite. Within a week, she started bullying his wife, but her little brother found out almost immediately, and with that, she was back out on the streets. Due to her total lack of work history, the best job she could find was in a supermarket, and her salary is about as low as it could possibly be. Last I heard, she was living in a store cupboard at work. Something tells me that personality of hers is gonna see to it that she remains lonely and isolated until long after she retires.
William, didn't I tell you to clean the house today? How could you leave the house like this? Don't ignore me. I bet you're out somewhere having a good time, huh? What kind of son are you? Don't you feel sorry for your mother? Hey, did Mom also message you? Why did you go out without asking for permission? Did you forget that Mom and I are having lunch at a high-end restaurant today? You promised to drive us there, didn't you? I can't believe you took the car. Come back now. You dropped out of high school and are so useless. Did you forget that your only job is to serve us? Ugh, it's embarrassing to be your sister.
What's going on with these messages?
Oh, now you've replied. Where are you and what are you doing? Come home immediately.
What's wrong? I told you earlier that I can't do cleaning or drop-offs, pickups because I'm working, right? You saw me heading to work in a suit, didn't you? It happens to be my lunch break now, but you understand that I'm still working at this hour, right?
Stop lying.
What?
I don't remember raising you to be like this. I hate lies.
What do you mean? I'm not lying. First of all, I don't remember being raised by you. You only cared about my sister. Grandpa and Grandma were the ones who took care of me. After they were gone, you forced me to drop out of school and made me start working. So what do you mean raising me? Even the messages you sent me this morning portraying me as a bad son. Mom, you don't have the right to make such accusations.
Don't talk back to me. See, you don't know how to respect your mother. Enough with the complaints. Just come back home quickly. While we're away, take the time to reflect on your actions. We'll hold a family meeting later.
Huh? A family meeting? About what?
We need to discuss your future and give you a sermon.
A sermon? I don't get it. There's no need for a family meeting. I'll listen to whatever sermon you want to give me when I get home.
Huh? Work? You are unemployed. What are you talking about?
Unemployed? Me? What do you mean? I mean, you saw me leaving for work, right?
The family meeting is at 3 p.m. today. Both Isabella and I will be back around that time. Make sure you're home by then and that the house is clean. Got it?
Wait, answer my questions.
We're the ones asking the questions. Anyway, just come back home already.
What the hell? I have a shareholders meeting in the afternoon. I can't leave early just for a stupid meeting.
Huh? What shareholders meeting? You are just an unemployed person. Stop lying already.
How many times do I have to say it? I'm not unemployed. I don't even know what I'm supposed to reflect on. This is ridiculous. You're ruining my lunch break. I'm ending this conversation now.
Hey, stop disrespecting your mother. William, you skipped the family meeting, huh?
So what? What the hell is this? I told Mom that I'd listen to her stupid sermon when I got home. I don't think there's an urgent thing that we need to discuss in a family meeting. So prioritizing work is only natural.
Here we go again. We wanted to have an emergency family meeting about your lie of having a job.
What? I'm even more confused now. I was sitting at my desk at the office organizing my documents until just now.
Don't make me laugh. You, at the office, organizing documents? Do you mean reading stupid comics? Stop pretending. In reality, you can't even be a chauffeur for me and Mom. All you can do is be lazy and pretend that you are busy. Oh wait, maybe you want to be a comic artist? That's why you spend your day reading all those stupid things? A useless, unemployed high school dropout like you becoming one? Stop kidding yourself. You're not even good at anything. You're already 29. It's too late to dream about something, you know?
Are you done? I really don't get why you and Mom think I'm unemployed. I've been working all along. I've always been mistreated in this family. I know both you and Mom see me as nothing more than a servant. But until yesterday, you didn't call me unemployed. I just don't get it.
Well, we just found out today. You actually weren't working. It's no use hiding it.
Huh? What do you mean? What's going on?
Mom and I planned to have lunch at a high-end restaurant, remember? Since you didn't give us a ride, we had to take a cab. Oh, by the way, I'll charge you for this expense later. Even though you are unemployed, it seems like you have money to spend.
I told you I'm not unemployed. How many times do I have to tell you?
Shut up. Enough with those lies. While Mom and I were having lunch, we bumped into your old classmate, Kenny.
Kenny? Oh yeah, I remember you knew him too.
He told me everything. He said you mentioned at the reunion that you quit your job. He was wondering what happened to you since then. I think you went to a reunion 4 years ago. I didn't realize it had been that long since you became unemployed.
No, I've started working for another company since then.
Oh, really? But you're just a loser making a mere $18,000 per year.
Huh? What are you talking about?
You still don't want to admit it? After I heard what Kenny said, I checked your stuff in the room to see what was going on with you.
Wait, you went through my room without permission? Why would you do that?
And I found your bank statement. When I looked at the total amount, it was just $18,000. In other words, your annual income is only $18,000. It basically means you are earning nothing. You are unemployed. Aren't you embarrassed?
$18,000. Oh, that document. I think you misunderstood something, but that money is...
After discussing it in a family meeting, we've decided to kick you out of the house. You have no right to complain since you didn't attend this important family meeting.
Kicking me out of the house? What? I really don't get it.
You made your choice not to attend the family meeting. Well, even if you had attended, you would have been kicked out of the house. We don't need a loser with an income of $18,000. If you were doing household chores or being a chauffeur, we might have forgiven you, but a lazy man like you just fooling around every day deserves to be kicked out of the house.
What?
I threw all your stuff into the backyard, so take everything and leave this house.
Into the backyard? Are you insane? It's raining outside.
I don't care. You got what you deserved for hiding being unemployed. If there is still anything left by tomorrow morning, we will dispose of it all. Get out of here today.
Are you serious? I had computers and electronic devices in my room, right? Did you throw all of that as well?
Of course. For someone unemployed, you have quite a nice computer and lots of games. You don't need all that. I dropped them all out of the upstairs window.
From the upstairs window? Everything must be completely broken by now. What are you going to do about it? It wasn't just hobby stuff, it was work stuff too.
Are you still lying about having a job? It's too pathetic, so just stop. Having a brother like you is embarrassing. It feels so good to be rid of this lazy, greedy scumbag.
Are you reading what I am saying?
What's the point?
Just to be clear, does this mean that Mom and Dad think the same way as you do?
Of course. I told you it was decided in the family meeting. We all threw your stuff out of the window. It's been a while since I've had a good time relieving stress.
Alright, then promise me one thing.
What?
After I leave the house, never get involved with me again.
Obviously, what are you saying? That's my line. Don't ever depend on us if you end up on the street. You useless, unemployed brother.
You thief! Enough of this or I'll call the police. I don't know if you are trying to seek revenge on us after we asked you to leave the house. But we are not a charity organization. We don't have money to support an unemployed person like you. What are you talking about? Just admit it already. Don't you dare use our savings. Give the money back quickly. What? Are you accusing me of stealing money? I really don't know what you are talking about. I'm talking about our bank account for living expenses. Somebody has been withdrawing a crazy amount recently. Nobody in this house has used that much ever since you left. I can only assume that you, with no money, are somehow withdrawing it. I don't know the PIN number of your account. I don't have your card and I don't have your money. Stop accusing me. Don't lie, be honest with me. Listen, what you are doing is stealing. Even if you're family, you can't just take someone's money and use it without their permission. Now, if you honestly admit and return the entire amount you withdrew, I'll forgive you and not make a big deal out of it. I mean, I'm the one who wants my money back. Do you remember the payment for the computer and other things in my room? You haven't paid yet, right? The payment was due yesterday.
Don't change the topic. First of all, what kind of invoice was that? Are you trying to make a shady donation to some strange company to take revenge on us?
What? What do you mean?
I know what you're doing. That invoice that you sent me had the name of a shady company on it. Could it be loan company? I bet since you can't make a living, you borrowed money, and now you're trying to make me take care of the repayment.
Huh?
I always thought you were an unfilial son. But I never thought you'd fall this far. This is what happens when you live on an annual income of $18,000. From now on, change your mind and work hard.
What are you talking about? 18,000 is my monthly salary.
What? Monthly salary? When Isabella saw your bank statement, she said your annual income was $18,000.
It's a huge misunderstanding. The bank statement she saw was the one I used back in high school. I mean, I can't believe you believe what Isabella says without even looking at it.
What?
It's the money from the part-time job that was deposited into that account. It's not a recent bank statement.
Huh? The money from your part-time job? What?
I mean, it's a very old bank statement. Isabella found it in a drawer, and she just assumed that it was my recent bank statement.
Stop lying. There's no way a smart girl like her would make a mistake like that. Unlike you, who didn't finish high school, she graduated from college.
After I dropped out of school and started working, I've come to realize that being smart doesn't really match up with having a good academic background.
Stop talking nonsense. I won't allow you to avoid responsibility.
Come on, Mom. Please realize it already.
Realize what?
Dad, who acts all high and mighty at home. He's the real unemployed person. Can't you see?
He's unemployed?
About a year ago, the company where he works went bankrupt.
What? Bankrupt? No way!
It seems that Dad has been unable to tell you and Isabella about it, until now. I found out because the company I manage is in the same industry. I wanted to help him while he was looking for a new job. So I secretly put $4,000 a month into an account for living expenses.
$4,000? What? Hold on, did you say you manage a company?
Yeah. I started my own business 4 years ago.
4 years ago? I didn't hear anything about that.
I told you then. And I think I've said it many times since then. I've always wanted to work in game development since I was a kid. But because of you, I ended up dropping out. I couldn't even get interviews at major game companies. But I couldn't give up, so I started my own company.
What? Really?
I thought you knew about it. Not realizing for 4 years and still treating me as unemployed. Do you even care about me? I knew you never cared about me, but it still makes me sad.
Wait a minute. So, is it true that you earn $18,000 monthly?
Yes, it's true. By the way, the games in my room are developed by my company. Including the computer that was thrown away, those are company assets. I sent you the invoice under the company's name. If there's any further delay in payment, I'll have to hire a lawyer and take legal action.
Lawyer? You don't have to go that far.
Then pay up right now.
Wait. You earn $18,000 a month. You don't have to be so stingy.
Don't get me wrong. Regardless of my monthly income, it has nothing to do with the damage caused to the company by you and Isabella. If you won't compensate me, I'll have to take legal action.
Hey, calm down. Well, as a mother, I feel incredibly proud of you. I can't believe you're the president of the company. That's amazing. I'm so lucky to have a son like you.
Well, it's none of your business anymore.
What? What do you mean?
I was misunderstood and got kicked out without a chance to explain my side. What kind of mother are you?
That's because you skipped the family meeting. It's your fault.
I told you I couldn't leave because there was a shareholders meeting. I told you let's talk when I got back from work, right? Even before leaving for work in the morning, I told you I couldn't do your favor that day. I've mentioned going to work multiple times. It's your fault for not believing me.
But,
If it was an emergency matter, I would have left the work early.
well, William,
What?
if that's the case, you can come back to the house. We're family, so we should live together again.
Seriously?
So please continue contributing $4,000 like before.
Are you out of your mind? You promised you wouldn't get involved with me anymore, right? Don't tell me you forgot.
What?
Didn't you hear from Isabella about it?
I didn't hear anything. Hey, William, come back to the house. Hey, Mom told me everything. I didn't know you own a company. And about Dad too. I will not charge you for the cab. So, will you come back home?
What? I wasn't planning on paying that anyway. And I'm not going back.
Why not?
You're the one who promised not to get involved with me anymore, right?
But I didn't know you own a company.
You didn't know, huh? Do you mean you didn't listen to me? Mom, Dad, and you. You guys never cared about me, right?
Well,
The moment you found out I own a company, you are asking for money. Have you no shame? I was kicked out of my house. I worked hard while being treated like a servant by Mom and you. On top of that, I contributed $4,000 every month. I had enough. Don't you ever get involved with me again.
well, that's...
Oh, I told Mom the same thing, but I will tell this to you too. If I didn't receive the compensation for what you guys did, I'll hire a lawyer and sue you all as a company. We'll charge you a late fees on top of the compensation.
Hold on. Can you extend the deadline for payment? You know that Dad was unemployed, right? We don't even know how we're going to make ends meet. We can't afford this kind of money all of a sudden. And why does a computer cost nearly $10,000 anyway? Are you trying to rip us off or something?
I told you, it's for work. It's a high-performance computer for game development.
If we pay this kind of money, we'll be completely broke. I mean, we might have to borrow money to pay for it.
Why don't you just do it?
What?
I took out a loan when I started my business. It was really hard to start a business being a high school dropout and make it this big. I worked hard and managed to repay the loan. There are 3 of you, so if you all work together, you should be able to earn $10,000 soon, right? Good luck.
Wait, please. Please come back. William!
After that conversation, I cut off ties by blocking my sister and Mom. Shortly afterward, my father messaged, urging me to return home and contribute money. Without hesitation, I blocked him as well. It brought a sense of relief, decisively closing the chapter on my entire family. I thought they might start working seriously, but things took a turn. Surprisingly, the 3 of them showed up at my company. They caused a ruckus, shouting and breaking windows. I asked the police to come and take all 3 of them away. Since I hadn't received compensation, I added the damages they caused in our office. When I finally got a lawyer, they got scared and paid me in a lump sum. Later, I found out they borrowed money from loan sharks, and now they're working hard to pay it back.